What's up, everyone? I'm Tam. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe because my channel is difficult to find, and if you lose it, you may never find it again. My channel is a raw and uncut discussion about personality disorders, and it might not always be politically correct. Yes, I do have a copy of the DSM-5, but I go off the grid because the DSM-5 doesn't tell you every single thing. So I'm telling you a lot of things that people aren't going to tell you about. So today we're going to talk about standing firm with borderlines and with narcissists, and really with dependent personality disorder, any type of personality disorder. We're going to talk about standing firm. Now, the truth is, when you stand firm, there can be consequences to that. So let's not even lie to ourselves about that. When you stand firm and you put boundaries in place and you stand up for yourself and you say, this is the lane that I'm going to be floating in, there are going to be some residual effects because now you're shifting these people's personality disorder defense mechanisms. You're taking them and you're sloshing them around. And they also, one of their defense mechanisms is black and white thinking, where everything is all good or all bad. You're all good or you're terrible. But do we take that stance as well? Do we go into a splitting mode? You might have to do that a little bit because most of us see things in gray. But when we're trying to stand firm in what we're doing, basically what I'm telling you is, what is your game plan? Everybody wants a beautiful, perfect relationship with these folks with borderline or narcissism. And they want to have this light and fluffy, amazing relationship. And every time they go into it, there's turbulence, there's destruction, there's confusion, there's anxiety, there's frustration, there's fighting, there's arguments. And then they go back into the same situation the next day, hoping for better, thinking there's going to be better, thinking, oh, we're going to just have this nice conversation with mom and it's going to go so well. And then you're hanging up in each other's faces like you always do. And this can go on for years and decades, honestly. But yet, us folks without disorders, we expect a different result. And I am a fan of learning from the past. What has the past taught you? So use what the past has taught you to devise your plan. And yes, that's more black and white to say, this is my plan, this is what I'm sticking to. But if you don't do that, then you continue to get shocked, disappointed. So there are a couple of lanes that we can discuss when it comes to that. One, you can decide to fight back. Second plan, I'm not fighting back. Which lane are you going to go into? Before we get into that, think about this. Narcissists and borderlines can both flip the script on you. Haha. One of my books is Flip the Script on Love, no pun intended, but they can flip the script and start making you feel, and that's where gaslighting comes into play, that you're the one with the problem, you're the bad person, if only you would change, you're so terrible, you're an awful rotten person. This person is degrading you, putting you down, talking to you like you're stupid all the time, making you feel guilty because you don't have superhuman powers to meet their needs, and yet the person who develops the guilt is the person without the disorder. Oh, I am a bad person. Oh, what could I have done differently? Oh, I should have said this instead of that. I should have moved differently. So they're flipping the script on you. You're not the one with the disorder. They are. So first and foremost, keep that in mind. You're not the one with the disorder. They are not better than you. And what I find with people who are being abused is you somehow justify them and you start thinking that they're somehow a level above you. We're all human beings. All human beings deserve to be treated with respect, dignity, kindness, compassion, fair treatment. None of us are perfect, but we all deserve to be treated well and not disrespected and degraded all the time. And when people are abused, they tend to put people at a level above themselves. Like, well, I can take it. Well, I can take on the abuse. That's not fair. What makes their foot different than your foot? You can both put on socks, right? I mean, I know that's probably a weak example, but the truth is, why do we put certain people on a level higher than ourselves? You deserve respect and you should be getting it. So when you think of creating a game plan, to me, that's the way that you stand firm in what your beliefs are. So ask yourself, what are your beliefs? Your beliefs may be, I need to be treated well. I need to be treated with respect. A lot of times, people who aren't standing firm, who are accepting abuse from these folks, they keep themselves in print-rich environments that fosters abuse, whether it's a workplace, a family system, a friendship, and they will keep themselves in this abusive situation. And they may say, well, the victim is the one, I'm the victim. So those people should change. Okay, how long you got? That's a part that they don't understand. How long are you going to wait for those people to change? You're going to be waiting forever. And if you don't put up with the abuse, then somebody else will. Somebody else gullible will. Why do you have to be the chosen person? Why are you the one that has to put up with abuse? But why should I have to change my job? Why should I have to keep suffering? They should be changing. When you guys are telling me that I should leave my job or I should leave the relationship, that's putting pressure on the victim. And I don't understand why they don't get it, why people who are abused don't get it. Nothing is going to change unless you change. Should the borderline and narcissist change? 1000%. But that's their skeletal makeup. It is a disorder, a diagnosable one, for a reason. There's a deeply entrenched problem there and system that is locked in place. Okay? So saying that I don't have the strength, I don't have the energy, I don't have the time to look for another job, I can't fill out a resume because I'm too beat down. How is that solving a problem? I can empathize with you all day long and tell you how sorry I am, how, yes, those people are mean. They're wrong for how they're treating you. Poor you. It's true. No one should be treating you badly. But that's not, you're accepting some level of abuse. So when I say create a plan, because we could talk about that forever, and standing firm, it means, okay, which way are you going to go with this relationship? Let's say it's your mother and it's hard to, you more than likely are going to have to interact with your mother for the rest of your life. Unless you decide to cut her off, and that's a game plan. But I know some people in a situation like this where the mother is kind of borderline-ish, kind of narcissistic, and one of them has decided, you know what, I'm going to fight back. The issue with the one fighting back is that's all they do anyway. They hang up the phone on each other. They come into the conversation thinking we're going to have fun, we're going to enjoy talking. The borderline attacks that child over and over, and it just happens to say it's been years and years, same thing, and they keep conversating with the mom thinking, oh, well, or being very shocked when the mom cusses them out or hangs up in their face. The other one decided, I'm not going to argue with her. That's my game plan. I understand the disorder now. I'm not going to fall victim to that. I'm going to rise above that. So the mother is saying, you should do this. You should do that. Why would you buy me something like this? This is hideous. This is ugly. You should have done, you could say, wow, that is so rude of you to tell me that what I bought you was ugly. It's a thought that counts. You should say thank you and go on. Why fight? Why argue? Like, that's also a plan or an approach. Like, I'm not going to argue about the same types of rhetoric over and over, the borderline is just going to get madder and madder and angrier and angrier. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to rise above that, and I'm going to keep myself from taking it personally. I'm going to accept the disorder and move forward from there and take a different approach. So the one who's taking that approach, they really don't argue much anymore at all, because she lets the borderline fuss and gripe and yell and stomp around, and she just changes the subject or says, okay, you're right, I'll get my money back for it, thank you. The other one chooses to, why are you saying that to me? Why would you call my thing ugly? Why would you say that what I bought you is a terrible idea? You are so rude and disrespectful. I'm not going to let anybody mistreat me anymore. I'm going to start standing up to these people. Okay? Same person, work situation is the same. Surrounded by abusive people, disrespectful, chaos, never getting any traction, but I'm choosing to stay in this workplace and complain about getting abused. You always have another option. Leave. You don't have to stay in situations that are abusive. So sometimes you do have to stand firm. Now, that doesn't mean that the person who's saying, I'm not fighting with them anymore, that person has also put some things in place. We're not going to talk as frequently. We can text. I'll text you every day, but we're not going to talk on the phone every day. We can talk on the phone once a week. That's how I'm going to protect myself and stay sane. So I think the name of the game is protection. You got to protect yourself. How are you going to protect your own psyche? So if you're dealing with toxic folks, one of the things you can do is check out my book, The Workplace NaRCISSiST, to help you understand them better so that you can create a game plan that works for you. And also, if you're having relationship difficulties, check out my book, Flip the Script on Love, so that you can have some guidance in that area so that you can get the romance that you love and deserve. So check those out. Be sure to like the video. It gets the algorithms going. I want people to hear these messages because there are a lot of people suffering and hurting. And so one way to help people is get my video out to them and share it, and I would really greatly appreciate that. So thanks so much for hanging with me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.